Hello, 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 friends. I'm so excited. Oops, wrong. I got real excited there. We switched to the wrong cam for a second. It's Monday. Hello, and guess what? We're here at Pink Pixels. I know you all are surprised that you found yourself to this wonderful Twitch channel, but we are here. And despite any tech issues that want to get in our way, we have determined the pathway we want to move forward, and we will not let anything stop us. And that's honestly just the approach we're going to take for the rest of this week, because not only is tomorrow Halloween, but we're also kicking off November, which means our fall is disappearing quickly. Everything seems to be running away from us. Our calendar just keeps chucking off one day after another, but still, we persevere. We decide how we want to roll things forward, and we will not allow any little tech issues or bumps and bruises along the way to stop us from where we want to be. And more importantly, who we want to hang out with. And tonight, as always, we have two amazing guests with us as we dive into the world of Jackbox. So if you would all be ever so kind, let's kick off right away. Please give a very, very warm welcome to our amazing guests, Elise and Liz. The two of you say hello to our wonderful Twitch community.
Hello, wonderful Twitch community. I love a good community.
Yeah.
Especially a Twitch one.
Right?
Especially a Twitch one. Yes.
We could be elsewhere. I'm happy we're here. Elise, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I work for Jackbox Games. I'm an audio lead, which means I do all of the music and sound effects. So for Party Pack 10, which just came out, I worked on Time Jinx. Very proud of that game. Also some tracks for Dodo. And then previously worked on Weapons Drawn and Junktopia in prior packs. And love my job. And this is my prop. It's a real piano.
Lies.
Is it though? Prove it.
It is. And I promise it is. I'll play if you're lucky.
What a beautiful intro. Liz, follow up. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
My name is Liz Anderson, and I am the one of the editorial leads here at Jackbox Games. My game for the Party Pack 10, I was the editorial lead for Fixie Text, and I previously worked on packs 9, 8, and 7, and I was the editorial lead for Juntopia. And also this pack, I pitched the original concept for Fixie Text. So it's just a pleasure to be here. And my prop is the bed that I do my work on.
Yeah.
Thank you for pulling it into the room so that way we can see it. The effort is phenomenal. I love that. Now, the two of you, right, here we are in the world of Jackbox. Jackbox is a game that brings a unique energy. It is fun. It's not what we might say, like when people think of video games, they might think of like Call of Duty. But here we are, Jackbox, a game that appeals to so many people. How did you all find your way to this space and say, like, these are the people I want to work alongside? This is the kind of project I want to create.
Should we go in the same order? Okay, well, my background is music, and so I would say I knew I was destined for Jackbox when I was in piano lessons at age 9, and I was studying like classical Russian style, read the music, do your cadenza, play with the orchestra. Mm-hmm. And I liked to write weird cadenzas that were a little funny and unsuspecting. And the classical world didn't like that. So that is when I knew, I don't think I'm built for the regular music career of a classical pianist. So took a right turn into jazz, took 2 more right turns through Second City, and then I obviously, Jackbox, it's fun and silly. And so when I was interviewing, they're like, we're a little different around here. Be yourself, be silly. And it was the first job interview where I felt like, oh, I can just do the creative things that come into my brain. And that's what they want. So with my weird little perspective and like to challenge the system a little bit. So that's kind of how I kind of creatively aligned with Jackbox and just got lucky that they hired me.
So like you. We like you as you. Come do you is the idea.
Yeah, so if you want to be like me, study classical piano and then study jazz and then go to college for jazz arranging and then
Yeah.
work as music director at Second City. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, that was such a
Clear
clear
pathway.
pathway. Yes. Such A equals B equals C, and then you're at Z. Done. Not a problem.
Yes. Yes.
Liz, was your pathway as straight and narrow?
Yes,
as Lizz's?
absolutely.
Yes.
I
Okay.
I can give you the 1-2 steps straight to this job. Yeah, the background of Jackbox, obviously we're Chicago-based, somewhat indie game studio, and there's a lot of ties between Jackbox and the Chicago improv and comedy scene. So a lot of people that work there have had some experience either with improv or working at Second City or working at IO. Yeah, so my origins as a comedy writer, I moved up to Chicago 10 years ago, and I just kept on writing a lot, trying to become a professional comedy writer as best I could. I was a writing fellow at The Onion and still a contributor at The Onion up until 2019. And then I was staring down the barrel in January of 2020 thinking, well, I don't have a job right now.
What do I want to do? Huh?
Yeah.
But ever so often, Jackbox would hire writers, and it felt like a really nice fit for both a little bit of comedy writing and also my background writing for a specific voice. I had also written a little bit for Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, so that whole game show element pulled in a little bit, very lightly. Don't.
Sorry.
They if you ask them, they would not remember me, but it was a very limited amount of time. But
that doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
That's iconic.
We're asking about you.
I applied. Actually, I applied, and then in March of 2020, the biggest event to happen in that month, where it was me getting a job, and then some other things happened on a global scale. But I did. The main thing was getting a job at Jackbox Games.
There we go. There we go. Headlines of 2020. Liz is at Jackbox.
We did it. Everything's
Yeah,
fine.
Honestly,
Yes.
Liz changed my life more than that other thing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
for the better. The better.
I can see.
What a
I
treat.
think we're all, if for those of us who have not met Liz tonight, this is going to be a turning point. As much as 2020 changed up our lives, tonight is going to open a new door of our journey.
Forever changed. You'll be
Forever
like, and
changed.
that Halloween was the Halloween I met that writer Liz.
Yes. Yes.
You tell your children and their children.
And then things got really weird after that.
I don't know.
But that's the thing. I'm sensing, like, 'cause it feels strange because most of the time when we hear from other people in the game industry, like when we think esports, right? Like, I was a competitor and I've done this. Like, it is so much more within a particular journey. And for the two of you to be like, we have so much more of a comedic and improv and a space outside of the gaming world to say they appreciate it, they wanted that to be brought in, feels very refreshing on that end. Right?
And I think I like that point because I think that where we are now in the world of like media or music or entertainment or gaming, you kind of fit where you are. And so I would say like there's enough space on the internet for everybody, and I think it's a good thing that whatever you develop as being your sense or your taste in music or your taste in games or your taste in literature, like that's what you focus, and that's what you hone on your own, career path, and then you just find the job that matches that. So instead of like, "Ooh, pick me, I'm awesome," you just do the things you love, and then if someone's lucky, then they'll hire you.
Yeah, it like aligns.
I think so. Yeah.
I think, Elise and I are very similar in that I think the reason we pursued this particular job was we wanted a job in our creative field, and it just sort of happens to be in the realm of gaming, which I love being in the industry, but it took me a while to even wrap my head around the idea that like, oh yeah, I work for video games.
Yes, I feel out of place. I do. I really do. And I am always inspired in learning new games and stuff. And I'm always like, oh, but what albums are you guys listening to? So I love that it's like cross culturally. Like I'm a music brain, and then the gamer brain are the people that I look up to. I'm like, oh, tell me what you're playing.
You live in multiple worlds now, right? Like, yes. And what I get out of this is, and I like what I'm hearing, is that you find your areas of interest, right? And you hone in on that. And it feels like it aligns with this culture of authenticity. But what does that mean to kind of like be true to making the weird things that you like, the humorous things that you like, the clever elements that you want to bring to the table? Because there's so many, especially with the pressure of like, I want to get hired, right? We've got rent to pay, right? Or wanting to make sure that we're offering deliverables for a higher up, right? Somebody. How do you continue to make sure that you are bringing yourself in, that you like what you're creating?
That is an evergreen question, because I think every creative person deals with the moment of, I have to do this for the job, instead of when you're like goofing around in your room and it's like 3 a.m. and you're like, oh, this sounds cool. And you make a beat and you're like, I think I'm like the best beat maker that exists, honestly. Yeah. And you're just like in that flow, and then you wake up next morning and you're like, oh, I have to finish 3 deliverables, 3 loops for this. And so I think it's an ever challenge for me, and I'm learning that to take an idea, love it when you have it, and then also let it go if you need to. And every idea when it first comes into my head is equal, and I will chase it down, and then if it's not useful, I'll let go. Instead of like, this is my opus, this is the best credit song I have ever created, and you put so much time into it, like it really doesn't matter that much. So for me, just learning that the process of making is all that I could ever expect. And so just show up today, make for 4 hours. Tomorrow, show up, keep making for 4 hours. Some days I'm like, I am feeling so creatively inspired right now, and I think, God is sending me music. Other days I'm like, I forgot how to play the piano. So just the consistency of making. Exactly, yeah. And then eventually you just pick the stuff that you're going to keep. So that makes sense. I don't know.
For me, first of all, Jackbox voice is firmly within the realm of what my comedic voice was anyway, so I felt like I was already a pretty good fit.
Yeah.
But the thing about Jackbox is that our production cycle is 6 months at most, and you're making 5 new games every 6 months. So, and each of those different games will have a different editorial voice.
Yeah.
So, which, like, there's a lot of similarities, a lot of connective tissue, but every 6 months you're reinventing what is this game's version of funny, what is this host's version of funny, and most importantly, the thing that I've learned is I've never been told no at Jackbox, but
That's true.
the thing you always need to keep in mind is the North Star of a Jackbox game is allowing the player to play the way that they want. So, and letting whatever the chemistry of a particular group, letting them be the funniest person in the room if it's a humor game like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Setting
You're
up
such
that
a writer. Oh.
You're
that's
so
just
the That's the
perfect way to start it.
But it's hard. It's a hard thing to learn because I've had to learn, like, you want to have a joke in every other line, but also that kind of gets in the way of making what gets people addicted to Jackbox, which is making them feel like they're so funny and they need to show their friends how funny they are. So that is sort of the line of delineation. So you have to sort of swallow your comedy writer brain and for your game designer brain a little bit.
And the music version of this is clear space for the jokes. So sometimes it's not about me, and the music shouldn't be the focus, and I can't be in there and be like, watch this track, and then make it cool. But yeah, like sometimes, or you can use one of my favorite tools is like contrast. So if something is a very silly moment, what if I put extremely serious music that's highly emotional, and there's this like beautiful like chilling solo that's just like the ethos of it is love, and then you're talking about like farts or like body function. Like I think that's really funny.
Yes, farts are always funny. This is 100% true.
Juxtaposition.
Yes,
The amount of
yes, but it
farts in
is.
these names.
It's the contrast, and it makes it easier to read too when you know it's so ridiculous at that point.
Yeah.
But I think that's the interesting thing, especially for the two of you, that balance in the space. Because sometimes when I think of like RPGs, right, you're following the vision of this character. The writers are going to tell you and give you the dialogue that you want, right? You're going to choose only the options that they give you. But for the two of you, both in music and writing, like you have to create space for another essentially creator, right? You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know how they're going to react, and you have to make it for whoever wants to fill in that stage. That can be hard. Is it easier to kind of picture who you think is going to be playing this game and how they might play it, or you're just like, I'm just going to not worry about that?
I think player motivation, this cycle was sort of I was given the opportunity to like help a lot with game design, and considering gamer motivation at sort of every step, like what behavior are we trying to encourage, what behavior are we noticing people choose to engage with as they're playing, is fascinating. But also
At the same time,
the player could be anyone. The player, especially for Jackbox, we are, I think, PG-13 and up.
the and up,
but
depending on who the player is.
But also people play these at business icebreaker events.
Yeah. Or like you're at Christmas and everybody is there and your grandma is also there holding her phone. And like, honestly, my grandma is the funniest in my family, but yeah.
When they're at that age, they can get away with anything, right? Like, who's going to scold them at that age?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're right. Like thinking like anyone could be a part of this.
And I think one of for me, the creative style that brings the tone out when we're making the game that Jackbox does is we work on a pretty small team, and we have game teams that are developing each of the 5 games. And so traditionally, you meet with your team, you really get to know the personality of your team, and you kind of find the fun with your team. And so I think a lot of times for me, it is like, you know, you're making each other laugh, or you're like exploring together. So there is a real like, you are using the product as you're creating it, and that is what makes it fun to actual play, because we're like playing it and we're like, that round is terrible, we'll scratch it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love the people that I work with, and then you get really close, and then you see the personalities that they have kind of come and influence the tone of the game as well, which is fun.
Yeah.
I got a tough question. Well, I don't know. Maybe it seems very easy for you all, but for everywhere else, especially in corporate America, building teams that are tight-knit, especially through use of comedy, seems to be such a struggle. Like, how do you build communities and teams that feel comfortable and can laugh and giggle together, right? We've seen plenty of icebreakers that are awful. You know, we're going to do this together, and it'll be great. And you're like, not another meeting. I really don't want to hear them talk, right? Like, we're going to do yoga together. And you're like, this is not for me. I can't even breathe properly, right? Like, I just, no, right? Like there's that balance. So how do you create an actual team chemistry where humor feels natural?
That is a great question.
That is
one. I get a gold star today.
Yeah. Also, you have great like empathetic questions, and you listen very well. Overall, I think all your questions are good.
Elise, you're such a. I've been on just one team with Elise, but Elise, this is every meeting with Elise is just a delight, compliment.
Oh, I'm blushing too hard. I don't like compliments.
No,
I give.
You're giving compliments. You have to take the compliments.
I forget. You're right. So I'm taking lacrosse ball. I have cradled the compliment. Thank you.
Cradle.
Yeah.
Are you
teams.
referring specifically to our game teams during production?
Yeah, the team
Okay.
that you work most closely with, right? Like, how do you, especially when you're first starting out, you're like, here I am trying to get to know everyone.
Well, I have two thoughts on it. One thought is all the people that work there, were kind of chosen for a reason. So I think that while we went through the interview process, we were interviewed by many different people in the company, which I thought was awesome. So it wasn't just like the top dude being like yes or no. It was like, does your chemistry fit? And would you add to the design because of your personality? And then the other thing is, I don't know, this year we got a lot of training on communication and vulnerability and kind of what's sweeping the corporate world, all these like buzzwords. But honestly, for me, I kind of I map that into my conversations with everyone. Like the conversations I'm having with my wife, I have learned things because of this, like, practice of like, okay, how do you confront someone if you have a problem? For me, it's really hard to say like, this didn't go so well and I'm going to need this from you. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm, harshing on somebody, but learning those kind of adult, qualities of how to make communication more successful, I really do think it helps in any group. Maybe that's a really heady answer, but
I think that's exactly correct. And especially having been at Jackbox exclusively remote, that has been a challenge. And Jackbox in the past 3 years has doubled in size. I believe it's doubled. We just have been hiring a lot. And I'll give Jackbox a lot of credit that a lot of our hires are not just friends of friends. It's a lot of very conscientious, deliberate hiring, very young hiring as well, that has, I think, injected a lot of energy into the company, where previously, especially for the creative disciplines like music, editorial, art, used to be very siloed. We have a lot of artists and writers who aren't assigned to game teams. They just work on all the games. There's a lot more effort to have everyone in the studio participate, and we have this company value that feedback can come from anywhere. Specifically that we play every week, we play the games every week because we need to, and everyone from every single part of the company, from executive team on down, is encouraged to give feedback, because we can get very focused on just the design of what is or isn't working, but someone who hasn't been looking at the games for 4 weeks needs to say, oh, it's not fun. The game's not fun.
I'm enjoying this, or I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here.
Again, the writer puts it exceptionally. Thank you, Liz. But this concept, I'm going to echo because I think it's so important. We know respect your elders, right? And we know how important that is. I also want to add to it, respect the youth. And I think that is so important. Instead of seeing youth as people who need to learn everything and start from the beginning and this is the way we've always done it, why don't we also say their brains were raised in a completely different culture and they might have a perspective that we can learn from as well. And so I think that it is really fun working with younger people even than myself, and just even a generation that grew up on the internet. Of course they're going to have more insight about the internet, because I'm the millennial, which played outside and read books and then got a phone when I was like 19. So
after going from the flip phone and like counting how many texts you can send out. Yes.
I dropped that thing in the toilet 8 times though, and it did never die.
Elise, stop putting it in the toilet.
This thing doesn't do that well.
It's too many. That's too many times.
Listen, I'm pretty sure the Nokia though could withstand anything. That's a brick for a reason.
Yes, it's true. The Nalgene and the Nokia.
Forever.
Run over with your car.
But this is such a great, and it doesn't feel like it should be novel, but it is in so many places, of breaking up that hierarchy, because it it's hard when we're new into places to feel like, can I say something, until we see other people kind of breaking that structure that is common in so many other places, and to see that kind of opened up and built within the system. It's like, it's another thing to say like, yeah, you can always come to me with questions, but my door is always shut sort of experience. So like, how, you know, building it in to say, this is what we do. This is something that's welcome. Everybody plays, you know, every so often, so that way feedback is there. You get to experience it because you want to normalize it. It doesn't happen by accident.
Yes, and do you do better work if somebody that you're working with says, I like your idea, let's see what you can do with that? Or do you do better work if someone's like, I don't know, we've never done it that way? You know, like, one way you feel space for, like, you know, creativity, and the other one you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be matching up to what we've always done, you know? And so if creativity is the initiation for anything new, then why not make a place that really wants that, you know? So
but that's always the challenge behind all of this, is just, how do I connect with others, and how do we get ideas, especially for Jackbox, right? This is a game that is chock full of ideas, right? And they're all random. Like, every game brings something new to the table. Like, again, when I think of other stories like Call of Duty, like, there's a box that it fits in, right? Like, there's certain only weapons that can fit in for what we can do for interactions. There's only certain behaviors that can occur within this particular space, right? So it's very firm on those expectations that we can play around with. But here, Jackbox is a literal playground for you all. Where do you get your inspiration to make sure you don't keep falling into that same box of, here's what we've done before?
We do a lot of sequels.
We did sequels, but also thank you for noticing. Thank you for noticing, though, because we try. We do try.
Yeah.
Liz, go, and then I have an idea. I have a thought.
A lot of game ideas, they're obviously party games, so there's a limited amount of things that you can reasonably do with 4 to 10 players with your phone as a controller. And some of the inspiration for a lot of these games comes from improv games, improv warm-ups that we've collectively known as a company. Sometimes an engineer has a dream that they want to see a reality. Our rhythm game this pack was because our engineer, one of our engineers, Chase, was like extremely gung-ho about, like, I feel like I can make this, so I'm gonna make it and we can make it together. But otherwise, a lot of these games are motivated out of what sort of feeling do you, finding a feeling or finding something you already do with your friends as a friend group and trying to gamify that. So Fixie Text, the concept came around, if we play it, we'll show it to you, is just trying to gamify the feeling of sharing a group text and having your group text, like, collaboratively write a text for you to send to your crush or something like that. That's exactly the feeling we're trying to get at. So there's a wide range of inspirations.
Yeah, Time Jinx, the feeling maybe that we were trying to get at is that it's a trivia game, but you know, there's cultural trivia that, you know, like, remember that one video went viral? You know, what about that trivia? That's the trivia that we kind of have in our brains more than, like, what year this happened in history. So relevant cultural trivia. But I'm lucky because I get to work in the world of sound, meaning we have all been hardwired with the way that certain sounds make us feel because of the role in music culturally. And if you are sitting in a movie and you hear that, like, foghorn bass, like, boom, you know, something like creepy is maybe gonna happen, or a whale is gonna come up and he's gonna look at you. Or, like, if you hear the of the strings, like, whoa, another creepy. There's so many things that I could just shout a sound at you and you would have a feeling. So I get to paint with music as a feeling. So, you know, Weapons Drawn was like a party and a rainy night and, like, kind of like Clue. So a lot of strings and some New Orleans inspired, you know, and then Junktopia was in a swamp and we're dealing with antiques. So to me, that says folk music. So there's just, I get lucky. The musicians in Jackbox we're just painting with colors that everybody already knows, and we're trying to match with the fun of the game, I guess. So that's how I answer that question. But then,
everything.
like, seriously, you can do a million things with a fart too. Like,
Elise, I believe this is true. Do we have just thousands of fart sounds in Fmod?
yes, we do. There is an entire library. And in fact, I told this story because it never gets old. So my wife has a gluten intolerance, and so she will record her farts on a bad gluten day and send them to me. And then my job as an adult person is to take these farts and edit them and then throw them into our sound effects library. And then or like frogs. We had frogs for the last game, so I had to come up with just like how many different frog sounds can I record? And I just spend a Saturday recording frog sounds, you know? So
the frog's walking sound is mouth sounds, right?
Yeah, it was me being like this into my mic way close.
That's above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Like I just feel lucky that I get paid for this, you know?
I'm still trying to get over like you spend a whole day editing fart sounds. Like that's I think
how intimate phenomenal. Is that? How intimate? It's truly. And so my wife will be like, "Ooh, this is an extra. Like, this is a deep one." Or like now we have this like commentary. Like the other day, she sent me one, and it sounded to me like a jet plane that was like trying to fly, and it was like, ah! But a fart. And I'm just like, they're just so expressive, you know? Endless possibilities.
They are.
Send us your fart sounds at jackbox.com/send your farts.
No, don't send your farts. Do not do that.
You should set up an email just for that. I would listen. I'm just saying, and do like if you ever do like a random award of like here's the fart of the week. I feel like people
that's fun
would go insane for that.
That's fun.
You already have a massive library, but if you would like more, people will be creative.
It's like the Disney Vault.
We pull 10 years old. This fart is truly golden.
Well, you know, Hollywood could refresh their sound effects too. Like, you know that eagle? That one eagle?
That one eagle?
It's the same eagle.
Yes.
And it's licensed for like everything. Like, we should like make some new eagle calls. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Or like, what is it? Which studio is it that has the lion that roars at the beginning?
MGM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
MGM.
Yeah. Let's update it. Let's do our own version. We'll have a dumb looking lion instead.
A lion opens its mouth and it's just a fart.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, this is not related to farts, but it made me think of it with the frogs. But even for the two of you, especially with more of the comparison with like films and film studios, do you all ever do like field trips for inspiration? Like if I thought of the frogs like, hey, I got to go to the zoo and I'm going to see if I can work with like the actual frogs and record their exhibit. Or if you're like, you know what, my field trip is I'm going to go to this improv show and see some of the new lines and pickups and styles and techniques that they're pulling out. Like, is that part of the job or is that like, I just do that for myself?
Liz, you sent us so many pictures in our group Slack for Junktopia. Do you remember this?
Did you go
to you were sending us
stores?
Like yeah.
Well, yes. Junktopia was an interesting game because the conceit of that was it's like a antique flipping game. So we pulled hundreds of pictures off of Getty Images, and you take this picture, write some new information, backstories, and based on that, people vote on whichever one is new and funniest and most interesting. So I would spend a lot of time like just, sitting in Getty Images trying to find things and sending some of the things we could not use in the game, but just some of the worst things I've ever seen. A lot of raw meat and statues and just the things that I have.
Dolls and weird dolls. Lots of dolls doing weird
the
things.
dolls all like that was a pure gimme. Anything that looked haunted went in,
Yeah.
anything that looked cursed went in, anything that was broken went in. But there was that line of like, this ground beef is a little too graphic for
Yeah.
so I'm not
It's
gonna
so
put it
true.
in, but I would share it with the group. But as far as other engagements with the universe, like I'm an indoor kid. I don't usually, but the most important thing, especially for writers who write trivia, is to have a real breadth of knowledge, like wide but shallow, of a lot of different things. Which is true, especially for trivia. We have gotten notes in the past that our trivia is pretty is not young enough, which is, what is general knowledge. That's something that we're never going to really be able to pin down. But my version of a field trip is going down a YouTube rabbit hole and trying to figure out, like, all right, why does Gen Z love the Backrooms so much, and who is a streamer that we need to know about, that sort of thing. Like, why is Mr. Beast big? Those are the sorts of mind vacations I get to go.
Mr. Beast? Should I know who that is?
Mr. Beast. And you don't need to.
Oh, Mr. Beast. I've heard of him. Yes, he does the giving away of like things and big
and
random studies.
11-year-olds love him.
Yeah, of all things. Like, okay.
So it's like, well, good to know.
Yeah, your job is harder. You have to find the cultural relevance, which in the internet age moves so fast, way fast. I get to, music to me is a lot slower as far as, for some reason Beethoven is still culturally relevant on TikTok.
Yep.
We still dance to his, symphonies and stuff. So for me, inspiration is more about like, how do I not get bored creatively? And for me, I spend a lot of times in the woods, and that inspires me. I don't know, just like maybe it's more of like a palate cleanser of my own brain space. I love drummers, Nate Smith. I love gospel piano, organ. For me, the like reckless raw emotion. So just things that I love. I just listen to that. Or sports, just not music at all. I just go and be active, then all my skin is tingling, and I'm like, okay, I'm back. Yeah.
This is a different experience. Well, especially when thinking about like the dolls and meat and whatnot. Like even for, because I think this still goes for writing and for sound. Like, are there certain moments where you're like, this is probably too far? Like we got to stick with the PG-13, not PG-3, PG-13. The audience can take it higher, but for the most part, do you ever go things like, oh, I can't include that, or that sounds way too much like people having sex, right? Like, or do you?
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm gonna answer short because the writer has more control of this. But I think sometimes a well-timed joke or just something that makes you giggle can be funnier than something blue, something dirty.
Yeah.
Sometimes dirty is a low bar, and so this is what I think for Jackbox. It's like what your friends and you have as inside jokes. You know what I mean? So you can fill in the blank with an inside joke that's gonna like have all of you like hyenas, and nobody outside of your friend group would know what that means. But I think that's why I like it. It's like we're the template and you get to be the humor sometimes.
Yeah. We've been pretty easily able to slot into a sort of PG-13 sort of style. Like, if you want to play a mature version of Jackbox Games, you can choose to make it that way, mostly. And there's a little bit of, for players who used to play You Don't Know Jack, those games were somewhat edgier in a lot of ways, or what I think a lot of old players, not old by age, old in the past, what players are looking for when they feel like, oh, I miss when Jackbox had edge. I feel like what they miss is just when Jackbox had games that were just like set up and punch. It's not necessarily that we were punching down a lot. I think it just had a host that talked more.
Different rhythm.
Yeah, so I think I don't think we've ever really run into content that has been like, well, no, you can't do that, because I think all of our writers have a good taste and good sensibilities. And what I've sort of talked about this in the office is that shock is not a bad thing, but shock does not necessarily mean edge. So shock can be a delightful feeling, but shock that comes from edginess is like less delightful, and it's more satisfying to find shocking things that are like, oh, instead of a oh kind of way.
Yeah. Especially if the shock comes at the expense of another person. And I think this is a strategy in comedy that we call punching up. And it's so lame if you have to make fun of someone or just like cut someone down just to be funny, you know? Like you could come up with really good jokes that are funny anyway if you don't and you're not like shitting on someone, you know? So I think there's kind of the practice of comedy and the practice of this type of comedy is like, how do you get creative? Can you be really funny and not hurt anyone's feelings? You know, like I'm interested in that. I don't want to be crushing other folks.
Players can hurt each other's feelings, but that's their business.
And then you basically slam your best friend. Yeah.
Yes, and then it's more personal. You know?
Yeah.
But you're right. Like there's a cleverness that comes from it, and I think that's really, especially where the team of Jackbox, with the overall, like from the sound, the visuals, the writing, where all of it comes together to create something that on our own, the average person probably wouldn't be able to create. Like we can make our easy jokes at each other, right? Because we have our personal jokes, we know each other, we know how to, what's gonna resonate with them. But you have to almost take it to that next level to say, how do we find something that is going to be a little more unexpected? Isn't gonna be like that slap low hit of a joke that hits at somebody, right? That feels like they could finish it without you being a participant in it.
And yes, and this year is the first year we released in so many more parts of the world at one time. And with that comes another challenge. How local is comedy? You know, if we have bits that are unique to a Western perspective, will it even, you know, transfer? So you have to kind of start back with the basics. Like, is a smile universal? Is laughter universal? You know, like will they know these musical references? You know, Law and Order. Do people watch that in Spain? You know, like everyone knows the dun dun. You know, but I don't know if they do in Germany. But stuff like that, where
find out.
like, well, we'll see. The metrics are good so far, but that was another challenge.
I've got the list right here. The sales numbers.
Actually, we're doing quite well in Australia for some reason.
We've got good humor down there. We're good. But that's actually a really interesting challenge of like, not only are we trying to resonate with audience, because like even within a company, right? Like one place where you've got like maybe 50 people, humor varies wildly already there. And then to say like, we're going to open this up to an international market.
Yeah.
Yes.
We, this was our first year simul shipping for FIGs, French, Italian, German, Spanish, and then Portuguese, I believe is going to be out soon.
Yep.
And that was a production challenge, that was an editorial challenge. It was a commitment that the company made a year ago, and it felt like, okay, we're gonna do this. And our international team has been fantastic. We have contracted localizing, but there's also there's localizing, and then there's translation and transcreation. So translation is just the words. Transcreation is taking content and making it applicable to the local venue. So like the number one pop hit in America in 1990 was blank would be different from the one in Germany. So that has been, from what I can tell, our contractors have been pretty good about being able to do that on their own.
That's hard, though.
It's very hard, and that was a challenge and the commitment that we made. So far, it hasn't limited the work that we do. I think we've still been able to write the English versions and with and just hand it over, and whatever happens mostly.
Good luck.
But yeah.
It's the translator's
yeah.
problems now. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
My favorite part is so we write. I write the credit song for the game I'm working on, and I write the lyrics in English because I'm an English speaker. But then we need to find a vocalist and a translator for the credit song, and I'm receiving these as they're coming in, and I'm thinking of these people. Who are the people that are getting hired to sing these crazy silly words that I'm writing for a silly song at the end of a silly game? And and they come back so beautifully sang. I'm just like, I'm hearing my song in German and Portuguese.
Oh my gosh.
It's just the best part of my job at the
Finding
end of the production cycle.
the voiceover artists and hearing like, here's the Italian wizard. It's just like, yeah, cool. Thank you.
Perfect. You're like,
Here's
we
the
would like
German
the Italian
wizard.
wizard too. I would like to play with the Italian wizard.
Oh,
I
so
think it was my favorite. The Italian wizard was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
As you go on and let's say 9 or 8, do you ever go back to play those and say like, hey, this is an inspiration, here's where we could have leveled it up as you work on like the next level, or as you were working on 10? Like, are you already dreaming of like what Jackbox Party Pack 11 is gonna be?
No, not for me. Absolutely not. I forget it, and I'm like, I made that. Oh dear. I press period. I delete everything on my computer. No, I don't do that. If any of my bosses are watching, I have backups for everything.
Oh, yes.
No, I hate the feeling of looking at old stuff I made. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't like it, and it makes me feel like an old version of myself that I have moved on from, I guess, but that's just me.
The shortness of our production cycle sort of forces you to put things on the shelf, because by the time we're in certification, we are probably already ideating for the next pack, just because we need to. Otherwise, we're going to be crunching towards the end of production. And my boss Arnie once gave me this incredible advice where when I was working on Fixie Text, and I was like, I really want to put in like such and such new content and this, and he told me the moment the game releases, a lot of this is going to wash away. If the game is a lot of desires to look back or add, like they would probably improve the game, but also you are going to be very hesitant to touch it once it's out in the world, because it is what it is, and the people have seen it who are going to see it.
Yeah. You just almost have to leave it. You're like, it is done.
I think all the entire release week where you're like supposed to be celebrating and stuff, I was already generating for my next project with Jackbox. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, I'm in a completely different genre of music by now. Like
we also in the production cycle, like editorial, so we could localize, rolled off in like July. So I've been real like, all right, let me know if you need help.
What was that game? I forgot. What's Time Dreams? We did, huh?
You're like, I could be okay with this little process change. Like, all right, we're getting a little more breathing in here.
Yeah.
But that
Totally.
it still has got to be fairly demanding of like, here's the next thing, here's the next thing, here's the next thing. I mean, exciting, right? But also like, okay, the brain has to keep churning out content.
Again, very empathetic question. You're an excellent listener. Yes, that is the hard part. And I think my learning curve is, Elise, when you need to take time, you should take time. Nobody is forcing you to keep working. If you do, you burn out, your creativity goes away. That's on you, Elise. So becoming more mature and responsible for my own creative timeline will make me a better worker,
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. I need to be reminded to take time, not because I'm working so terribly hard that I feel like I can't leave, but it doesn't feel like hard work because it's fun.
Yeah.
But it's work. One must
Liz, take time off.
I know, I'm going to.
But I like that you're saying this, because sometimes we don't feel like, well, maybe I shouldn't take a time off until I feel burned out. And that's not how we should do things. That is how many of us do. Like, I go until
Yes.
I can't go anymore, and then we hate it. And I love that
Especially
you like
if
it,
you're
but
raised.
like, I still need a break.
Oh, especially if you're raised as a woman. I don't know if you know your heroes who are women, but they're expected to do everything on every, have all the plates spinning. And I think that I'm kind of looking at my role, societally too. Like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be popping out them kids, that kind of stuff. Like, what is my
One
new
new
definition
game, one new
of
kid, back and forth?
one kid, and then a game,
golly.
and then a kid, and then a game, and then you buy a house, and then you sell a house, and then you invest in a property, and then a game, and then a kid.
Why do I need a
So-
house?
For my 10 kids, for my 10 games.
For all of the children.
Oh no.
So, yeah, it's a good. I think the pandemic aftermath has taught me a lot about, like, well, what is my timeline that I want to invest in? What do I value? And it's hard.
That's fair. Let's, when we're talking about breaks here, right? Taking our breathing. Let's take our own 5-minute
Perfect
break.
segue.
Yeah, perfect. Right? Did you see that?
That was genius.
Delicious.
Waiting for
Well
a
done.
moment.
But y'all didn't see
Precise.
that coming.
Exceptional.
We'll take our own breather. Take 5 minutes. We're gonna have a small little bio break, grab some water, and then we'll come back and we'll kick off some Jackbox. Let's get into the beauty, the art, the creation that the two of you have worked on, and to see the insides of it. That sounded gross when I phrased it that way, but we're gonna stick with it. It's kind of, we're gonna pull out all the intestines and see the inner workings.
I'm swallowing the insides.
It's perfect. It's
Please
perfect.
no.
I'm pulling us. We'll be right back soon, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, friends, we are back from our little break, and we are playing Jackbox 10 with Elise and Liz. It's going to be an absolute wild time. We're going to be diving into the game. We're going to be playing it. So if you have a thing called a computer or a mobile device, which is basically a mini computer, you are welcome to play along. Is that right? Are we comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay, I should have asked before I invited. But
No, we get in the audience.
My recommendation for games within the pack to play to start with would be Time Jinx, Elise's game, because that is a trivia game. And it's a...
And I suck at it. So
No.
you can watch me suck at my own game.
Perfect. I like that. I like that. Oh, this feels... I like the little previews that they give us.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. This
Give the
is
song.
nice. Okay, we'll do Time Jinx. So, I will get 1 to 8 players, up to 10,000 audience members.
Get him in there.
That's
Get 'em in.
right. That's right. Easy peasy. So if I click on this, we're gonna dive in to Time
Absolutely.
Jinx.
You'll get your room code.
Yes.
Your fancy room code. Should I play as Innis, who I am right now from Brokeback Mountain?
Yes. Yes. You
Or
absolutely
Elise.
should. No.
Okay.
You are no longer Elise.
No, I've been transformed. Well, up to Brokeback.
I will play as myself, but a doctor.
Oh, Dr. Liz.
Oh, I like
Very
it.
exciting. Very exciting.
This is
Honestly, is a doctorate in your future?
No.
Oh, because I could see it happening for you.
If I got a doctorate, it would be like honorary posthumous. Just something terrible has happened, but I was a big hero, so I get a lot. I get a lot of
You died, and then we award you the
Posthumous-
doctorate.
Yes.
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 PhDs because of my
Caustic,
heroism.
what would your doctorate be?
Oh. Oh. Somewhere in the humanities, because I think I'm a pretty good human.
Yeah, like psychology.
No, definitely not
Oh,
that.
oh, oh,
Terrible
oh,
at
okay.
relationships. Not that
Not
part.
the relationship with yourself.
No.
That is your best relationship.
That's terrible. You can ask my therapist. They're like, you've been here a long time. You've clocked in
They're
the
like,
hours, but yet
graduated.
here we are. It's an attempt. It's an attempt. I'm seeing some names in here. I love it. Everyone in chat, you are welcome to hop in, play along with us if you feel like you are game.
Can you
Gotta go to
guess?
Jackbox.tv and put in the room code you see on there, or use that QR code if your phone can pick it up.
Yeah, our room code is DBWK.
W.
The best weekend.
Uh-huh.
The
The-
best.
That bad water. cursing.
Land it.
Crocodile, but with a K.
What? Why can't I think of any words? Kitchen.
Kitchen.
Kitchen. King. Correct. No. No. Correct is a C.
Can we just have a little dance party real quick with this music?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you hear the moments where we get shot into a different song?
Oh, the little
Yep.
flutter
Pretty
sound.
cute. Because they're
Yeah,
going
and
through
then there's a little
time.
because you're going through time.
We're going through time. I get it. I get it.
And fun fact, I just created too much music for the game, and so instead of just one track for the menu, I just put in all the tracks that I didn't get in the rest of the game.
You're like, why not more?
I did. I truly did.
Way to be an overachiever, make the rest of us look bad.
Mhm.
Thank you. It's- Thank you.
How dare you? How dare you? This is good though. This is good. Oh yeah, we do get. Oh, this is very different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this. I have a question, but I forgot what I was gonna ask. So give me 1 second.
Up to
My brain-
Brokeback.
It had.
I'll see you on the mountain.
Uh-huh. Which one?
Brokeback.
Okay. Thank you.
But is the music available on Spotify? I know a lot of games try to make their music available externally as well.
Yes. Spotify, all the streaming things. We each have our own album for the soundtrack. So you go to the Time Jinx album on Spotify. It's a lot of tracks. There's even a bonus track on there.
Oh, I didn't know that they had specific albums for each game. That's very fun.
Yeah, we did that starting last year because we have been creating more music, and so our albums were like, 180 tracks, and that's just too many for one.
Just a few.
Nobody wants to scroll down that much.
I feel like this is also really good working music. Like when I need to have my students like, okay, time for your breakout sessions. This is what I need to put on.
Do it.
It looks like we have a full room, so if you want to begin the game.
All right, Scrib. Scrib got in first. I trust Scrib.
Scrib.
Commodore Scrib, if you would.
Scrib, it's all to you. Scrib.
Yes.
Head up on the mountain.
Which one?
Brokeback
Okay.
Mountain.
Good. I just need that clarity.
Thank you. Oh, this is the intro. It's important. Basically, we're traveling through time, and it's a trivia night with your friends.
Hey, that's rude. You don't have to.
Do you know?
Just a
I
quick heads up,
don't.
if you die in the game, you die in
No, I'm in my
Gus-
30s. I
You
do not.
weirdos know the drill. This will be a 3.5 round game. Shall we?
Shall
Okay, I'm
we?
ready.
I like this.
First mission, folks.
I always get
Please
so
keep your
nervous
hands
playing
and
our
tentacles
games
inside the time
for
machine
people in
at all
public.
times. Thank you
Because I
for
feel like I
playing
should be
Time
better
Jinx.
at it, but I'm not.
Oh
It's
no,
okay.
I'm devilishly
Here's a
bad
hint.
at all
It
of our
happened
games.
between these years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Punch in those numbers, baby.
Punch in those numbers. Oh.
Okay.
That is
Right.
a time span. Oh no.
I know, right?
Oh no. You guys are gonna realize I know nothing about history.
Hey,
No, but see, the fun
you
thing
and me
about
both.
this is that it's a lot of different types of history. So you'll get to feel bad at
Where did you
history in a
dweebs
lot
end
of
up?
different ways.
You'll get to realize how little you know.
Pop culture, regular geography, just oh, see? Oh,
a jinx?
y'all out there. we're
Oh,
about
I
to
was
get
telling us
so-
we're tied. Oh.
Your score is
Okay,
how
okay.
many years you're off on these
1931.
missions.
You're earning
The
that
lower,
PhD.
the better.
Okay, all right, Dr. Liz. All right,
Here's your
Dr.
next
Liz.
mission.
I'll see you on the mountain.
Oh gosh.
Which mountain? Oh, this is very.
We're starting out dark. We're starting out real dark.
Yes.
It's a Halloween episode.
Yeah, this
Oh, yeah.
fits actually.
Jackbox new.
Oh, no.
The game new.
Did it go? I don't know. I put in numbers after I.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's what I always do.
Yes.
And then sometimes you think that you're like getting momentum, and then you get 2 questions wrong, and then back to the bottom. Oh hey.
What happens when we get a jinx?
I personally ship the 2 players who get jinxes, and I write fanfic about them. But that's
New
just me.
mission coming at you.
Well, I'm Bob, by the way.
There is no in-game benefit to jinx.
God damn it. Okay. Jinx. I wanted a soda. Okay.
We did have like see now we're getting into meme culture. We did have a round called tethering where you would be tethered and you have a partner and talk about the romance even more hit for me.
Like we're partners for life.
I missed it. Yeah, I missed
Oh,
it.
you did?
Oh, triple jinx! It's a thruple! Thruple!
I'd ship it.
I'd ship Oh,
Wowie.
okay. Unexpected.
Well.
This is
How many years ago was 2015?
It's time to time hop.
Don't worry about it.
Here's
a
the deal.
lot.
I'm transporting you to
More
3
than
different
one
parties
hand.
from 3 different decades.
No,
What were you?
The goal is to
Caustic,
give a
what were you doing in
time-appropriate
2015?
response. If you act naturally in all 3
gosh.
decades, I'll find a way to pull some numbers off
I
your
was
score. As a
working.
favor.
What is it? I feel like I don't
Say
even know.
fancy.
Is my 15 or my 20
Don't
year
touch that.
high school
It's a
reunion coming
collector's
up? I
item.
can't remember. Maybe
Don't
25.
forget,
It's somewhere
respond
between
like
the 15
someone
and
from the
25 range.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Wait, are Beanie Babies? I feel like
I'm gonna go. I know what I'm gonna go.
Here's the line you should have used.
I feel like Beanie Babies in movies, everyone's like,
Yes.
Hold on to your butts.
I don't know what an
We're going to
eye
the
dog
next decade.
is.
It's like that. Oh,
This
Is
is
it a robo
there's
dog?
no
so
good
random.
way
But
to
did
explain
you
it
hear
without
about
saying
that
it's just a
company
robot
that went
dog.
it was like, didn't it come out like
Wow.
the Chia era?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, I think I feel confident about this. I was aware of events at the time. I think this
Right?
may have been when I was on the debate team.
Oh, you were on a debate
I
team?
was president.
Okay, next decade.
Oh,
I know it doesn't
that
show.
checks out. That
Also
checks out.
install
No, it's the
seatbelts.
communication skills. I see it. I do see
We
it. What do you get to do
smoked
as the
Soviets
president?
in the Olympics.
A lot of coaching,
Righteous.
basically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
all the not fun stuff.
Yeah. Like,
Is showing emotions in debate a good thing or a bad thing? Wait, hold on.
well,
Soviets in the
it
Olympics.
depends on your judge, and also it depends if you're a woman.
Mhm.
at the time.
Yes.
You hate to hear it.
Not
Yeah.
allowed to show
You're-
mad.
You
Based
seem
on
too
how
aggressive,
successfully you
and the
time
guy
hop.
next to me is yelling. You know, like, am I?
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
You're not smiling and just smiling, so
Yeah.
you're too aggressive.
Yeah. Or you get more commentary on
Who's
like
winning
what
with
you're
the lowest
wearing. It's
score?
like this is. No.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
most of them were not, but every now and then you get one of those and like.
Yeah.
The second
And you're
round.
like,
Got thoughts.
I got thoughts.
Yes. None of
Here's
them.
the
are
next
for
one.
sure.
It's like athletes who are being interviewed who are women. Have you seen where they flip
Enter your
and
dates now.
they're showing like men on the screen and asking the questions that they ask a lot of women and you're
Yes.
like, what? Why are you asking about that? She just got a hat trick. Like, what are you talking about? Okay,
Curious.
20. I didn't know that I should have had to pay attention to memes in the 2000s. In the 2000s, I thought the internet was gonna go away soon and we were all gonna go into the woods.
Fingers crossed that's still coming, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain.
Which mountain?
Here's where each of
Brokeback.
you went.
Good.
How's my accent? Like, is it
Perfect.
accurate?
Yeah. 10 out of
Okay.
10.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Alrighty, it looks like.
Oh.
2001, huh?
Y'all
Let's
out
keep
there.
this train
Y'all out there.
choo-chooing.
Yeah.
I didn't see who's in first, but who's in first? Good job. Like, we're
Is it-
getting smoked.
The lowest score is stronger.
Yeah, it's golf
Yes.
rules.
Golf rules.
Golf rules.
Because you have aged the least
Oh.
in
You will see little icons that come and tell you hints into the future, and it's the old version of your little avatar, and I love them so much.
very cute.
Our
all
artist,
those-
Steph, is our artist for this game, and she's
Oh,
such a badass.
what a treat.
Da-dum-da-dum, okay. Here's where I'm just gonna pick a momentum. I can feel it. This jinx is what's sending me into first place,
This is it.
and
Oh,
yeah,
I was very far off. Oopsie daisy.
Next mission.
This game has just broken
Oh,
pretty bad.
Matthew McConaughey. Is this? Oh my gosh.
All right. All right. All right.
All right. All right. All right.
Did
Do
you all
the-
know
the
that he
car commercial.
voices the Texas State Capitol if you do the tour there? He's the voiceover, and it's
Is
from
that for real?
yeah, and it's from the perspective of the Capitol as if he were the Capitol building.
No, I'm a
Welcome
big
to this-
building.
Oh, I love that so
I
much.
was
Do you want to see my dome?
He was.
We are here in the Capitol in Austin. I love that so much. I went to school in Texas. I went to the University of North Texas for jazz arranging.
Oh. Where is the North Texas?
It's time to
It
time
is
You're gonna
in
answer
North
two
Texas, like
questions
what,
twice
right
in a
over the
row.
Oklahoma
You
border.
have the choice
The
to
nubbin?
choose the first
Dallas
answer,
and
or you can
Fort
take a
Worth
risk
and Denton
and
make
switch
a little
it.
triangle.
Your score will be reduced
Oh.
for every
Yeah.
correct answer.
It's a
Knock
cool
'em
little
dead,
town.
Okay.
but don't
okay.
kill anyone.
Yeah. All right. All right.
And yes,
It's
the
no
time loop happens
Brokeback,
in a
though.
modified freezer. Don't
Nothing
think about it
is.
too hard,
Nothing
okay?
compares.
All right.
How many? Oh gosh.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Probably a lot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'll go honest.
kept
I'm gonna go
winning.
max number here.
That's what I did.
The editorial lead on this game is Paris Newton, and Paris is so good about like this. What we're talking about, the range of types of trivia. But so being an editorial lead for a trivia game is so much work because you're also the fact checker. It is so diabolically hard.
So your job is like, okay, go back into time, come up with questions about
Timely.
everything and
Answer
everything,
the
and they
same
have to be
or
accurate.
differently. It's up to
Also,
you.
everyone on the
Here's some
internet will be
stats to help you
watching.
ponder.
Yes. And they will fact check
It's a
you.
crazy job. Yeah.
4 players got
Oh.
this wrong.
Oh man.
Well,
Okay. All right. I'm sticking with a high
So
number.
we have a chance to redeem ourselves.
Yeah. So now it's like the peer pressure. Like 4 other people got it wrong. Oh.
Oh, that is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because like, who do you trust? Like, do you
Yeah.
trust me? Because I like made the game, so
And
you should
voila,
probably.
credit applied.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Absolutely correct.
I'm so.
This is not going well.
Just wait though.
Double down.
Just wait till the final round. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm Bob.
Don't crap
you
yourself.
just said this
but
is
it's
not
the third
going
round.
well.
I forgot that I'm Bob. I was like,
hey,
Heads up,
I
you're
tricked
not
myself
doing
into
so hot,
success.
You'll be receiving some hints
Low-key
from
Oh,
winning.
this is when your
yourself.
future player
Why
will
doesn't
come
your
to the
future
video.
self just tell you the
Oh.
answer? Well, that's between you two.
Oh, secrets.
My player has the cowboy hat, so
Type in your dates
you know
now.
we're in theme.
Yeah. Do you have the secrets in the cowboy hat?
Yeah, you want to hear one?
Yep.
Okay. Wait, I have to get close to the mic. Drinking more water won't make you happier.
I didn't realize we'd be sharing hurtful facts today.
Secrets can be hurtful.
Listen, I lie to myself all the time. I was counting on that one.
Now, let's take a look
Jeez,
at where you
oh,
all
Pete.
went.
really coming for the hydration agenda.
Yeah.
I'm a water advocate.
Are you?
I am. It just can't solve all our problems.
It's true.
Oh, look at us.
Dang.
1971.
Oh.
Mwah.
Moving
Look at us.
on.
The thruples are plenty.
The Coca-Colas.
Oh, I remember these guys. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Future me has a gray mustache, and I'm here for it.
gonna go with my younger brother's birthday in here.
Aww.
Feel confident. Oh, I'm just choosing years that feel familiar.
This feels right.
Yeah.
That's a good older sister knowing your brother's birthday year.
Oh, there's 3 of them. There's 4 of us. I know one.
Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
I was just guessing, because it seems like you have natural qualities of leadership and listening, wrangling people.
We all try. Are you? How about? Do you all have siblings?
Yes,
I
I have one younger sister.
I got you all a little
I have an
something.
older
It's
sister.
a new mission.
Oh.
Well, looks like they have to fight now.
Fight.
My younger sister.
Chugs.
Yes. Oh. Man,
Oh, my
I wish I-
future.
we should have paid attention.
What was the year? Yeah, what was the year that Al Capone got convicted?
Oh, I got that wrong then. I just chose some random numbers again.
Me too.
That's
Man,
what I did
wish
the
I
whole
paid
time.
attention.
I like
It's
this
beautiful.
number this time. But that's also
Yeah,
the nice part about this game is that even if you don't know, really, 1, you don't feel that bad for not knowing. And 2,
True.
at least there's I like that there's time frames like that you can only be so far off.
Yeah, and I like thinking
It's
about
time
like
to fix the butterfly
it's
effect.
weird when you
Your
see the
actions
numbers
have altered
smaller than
the
you
course
think.
of
You know,
history.
like
Sorry,
2015
history.
we were talking about.
Your
it, you're like, what
objective is to
how
correct
many-
the
how many
ridiculous
years ago
realities
was
we've
that?
created. Let's
What were
go.
you all doing in
I lose.
2015?
I was. Oh man. Was that? How old was I in 2015? 25. I was in Texas for college.
All right, Tejas.
I was studying trombones and trumpets and how to voice lead.
Ooh, that's fun. That's fun.
Oh, crap.
Don't forget to play too. Liz, how about you? 2015.
2015. Elise, I think, are we the same age? Have I known this? I was
I
also
was born in 1990.
Look at us, me too.
It's the easiest one for calculating your age.
Yeah, it's super easy. 2015, I was here in Chicago, and not doing much of consequence really. I was working at Northwestern University, not as a student, but as nor on faculty, just as a secretary.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
I like it. Oh, I don't
I
recognize
think
this guy's face.
Me neither. I remember hearing about him in history in like 2nd grade.
Yeah,
He's one of the guys.
Spotted the real version. Get to shave some years.
I remember Magellan.
Happy shaving.
I thought he went the
Right?
other way.
Yeah, but who knows?
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
that
we
we've
know
dealt
though.
with that,
Now we know.
Let's move on.
Now, when you go play
Let's see your
bingo.
scores.
Yeah.
No, wait, you wouldn't play bingo.
No.
That wouldn't be.
That's
When you go
bingo
play,
questions.
when you go play trivia night at your local bar.
We have time
I'm gonna
for
go to
one
bingo
final
and just
task.
throw out that answer in
And this
between
time,
games.
you're
Ferdinand
headed to the
Magellan!
future.
Like,
Like,
I
ma'am,
think
you
she
can't play
thinks
bingo
she's
anymore.
your trivia.
We go ace in the
Like,
hole.
Yeah.
Just yelling out answers to questions they didn't ask.
Successful. I don't know what for, but okay.
Oh, now
100
we're
years-
talking about the future.
Beanie Babies again.
100 years.
And now you have to
after
do
the
math.
release. Oh no.
Now you have to do math and remember trivia.
I should have paid attention more.
Okay. Let's see. I'm giving it up.
I'm
Lucky
pretty.
for you,
I'm
the
gonna
future
back
timeline
myself
gives
up
out
on this.
credit only.
Mhm. Up on broke back.
This is brutal.
Ooh.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Dang, look at you all.
Ooh.
Right
I
there.
remember they were around when we were kids, you know? So it couldn't have been too far after 1990. After 1990, that good year, then there,
That beautiful year.
that year
the
of
scoreboard.
our birth.
Uh-huh.
Year of our birth. This is fun. It's creative.
Let's see which one of you is least bad
it feels
at this game.
not
Silly,
like
right?
any of the Jackbox games we played before, and yet like there's that weird balance. Like it's familiar
You
in terms
won.
of tone
I mean,
and style,
You
but
won.
we've not played this game before. I like it.
No, thank you for that. Thank you so much. And congrats to our winner,
Congrats.
Tweedle,
Tweedledee.
Tweedlerious. Like delirious and Tweedledee? Tweedlerious?
Fantastic. Should we be shouting people's names out? Spencer, Kyra, Harris, Mira. Like,
Oh,
welcome.
yes. There's our beautiful artists. Steph, there's me.
Allison.
Flom is our controller. So Flom designed the controller you hold on your hand and your phone. Incredible
Wow.
brain. Yeah, these are just the whole team. That's the whole team right there. That's the game. We got it.
Those are the
Get
folks.
the band back together. Them the folks.
Them all them folks. They're so good.
Them all them folks.
That was
Yeah, there
hard.
we go.
It's a toughie.
You can keep playing it though, and I like that about it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I can't imagine. So how many in a trivia thing? How many trivia questions do you actually have to come up with?
Oh, I could look it up right now. It's
I gave you your own trivia question there.
something like 10 hours of gameplay minimum, I think. So whatever gets you to that point and however many rounds or stuff you need. So there's a couple hundred. more than a couple hundred, like 500 plus questions, I think, for Time Jinx. There's a lot less content for my game Fixie Text because it is user-generated content mostly. But trivia is you have to have a lot of it for replayability.
Yeah.
Let's hop
And
over
while
there.
we're on
keep
the theme song, if any of you are roller skaters out there and you want to come up with a dance to the credit song for Time Jinx, that's like my #1 career goal. Is I want somebody who's like really good to dance to my music. So open invitation.
Put it out there. Put it out there, please. You talented, amazing
Calling all
individuals.
dancers.
All right, so we're gonna get
I see you.
Fixie Text, right, Liz? This is one of your babies.
I will posit this. Fixie Text is, like I said, user-generated content. There is a 3-player version of it if you want to just play the 3 of us. But if you trust your audience, because the main conceit is everything that you type on the phone will be live on the game screen. There are moderation features where you can turn on moderation and it'll blur everything until whoever the moderator is logged in. But I feel like that might be a little involved. So I'll leave that up to you. If you want to play 3-person version, or we could play something like TKO or Doremi. Those are also wonderful games.
I'm feeling bold because I think I'd love to see Fixie Text. I think we have a good audience that we can trust. I'm going to lay out some ground rules for us. So first of all, no foul language, friends. Right? Even though we might say it sometimes on the stream in terms of typing, let's go ahead and stray away from that instead. Obviously, no racism, sexism, homophobia. Those are absolutely not allowed whatsoever, just as you wouldn't type it in chat. We aren't going to play that in the game either. And we're going to stay away from genitalia except for butts because butts are funny.
Even the words is funny.
They're cute. They're cute. We love butts. So if you cannot or feel tempted to break one of those rules, I ask you to bow out. Though many of you have been in our stream many times before, have been excellent and very kind participants. So we are going to go ahead and do this. Please do not make us lose our faith in Twitch or the Twitch community. So let's give it a shot today.
Yeah. I like the trust. I like the trust.
I also want to we kind of got into secrets earlier. As we get into this, I want to give you a little time to think about it. Is there something about Jackbox that you think the audiences or people don't know? Something they don't appreciate or don't realize, or something that they would really love to know that you're like, I want people to know this about our team and what we do?
Wow, what do your audience not know about Jackbox? That's a great question. Can you describe your audience if you had to, generally?
So
I want to know more.
They are quirky, intrigued people that love to just know. They like learning stuff. If you tell me one of our other developers came on we did this song with a bunch of kazoos, right? It was just the 3 of us and our sound person, and we made a song out of that. Perfect. We love knowing that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, so clever nerds,
While you're waiting,
beautiful brains.
put a face on your
Okay,
avatar.
yeah. Then they would know a lot, wouldn't they? Let's see. I gotta come up with a good one. I'm gonna think for 2 minutes.
It's okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
Or we forget that we know stuff, and we love to be reminded.
That's me every day.
My favorite fact about Jackbox is obviously for TKO you can buy shirts, and we often get the question of, do you ever reject shirts, or are there shirts that you say, oh, we're just not going to print that? Well, first of all, we don't typically don't even see them. They go to our distributor, and our distributor decides who does or doesn't print those. Most frequently, the shirts that they won't print are not because of content. They won't print them because the drawings are too close to copyrighted material. So if a SpongeBob is too good, they can't print it.
That's the real
You gotta be bad drawers to get printed.
Make them orange instead,
It's just the Arby's logo. It's just straight up we can't do that.
I love that. That makes a lot of sense.
That does. That's a restriction I would not have thought of at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people have asked, like, is it okay if there are boobs or a wiener on the shirts? Like, yes. That's the only way you win TKOs if a wiener's on.
Yes, those
You
are.
can't copyright a wiener. No. Well, can you? I don't know.
J-Lo did her butt, right? No, she didn't copyright, but she
That's true.
insured it.
Which,
And that's
it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's a start.
I
I
think
can
my-
either start at 5. 5 is a good number for me.
All right,
I want to start the game.
let's go and kick this off. This feels good.
I will begin.
My fun fact is that the company as a whole cares a lot about accessibility and diversity, and we have teams that kind
hello, my
of filter
friends.
content and think like,
I'm so glad you're here. I need a
is
favor.
this saying what we want to say? I
have
think
way
that
too many people texting me.
I think that
Since
matters
you
to
all
me
have
about certain
seemingly
companies
nothing
now. You know,
going
when you
on,
can kind of
you're
make
gonna help
choices.
Mhm.
There's a lot of
First,
women
let's teach
who
you
work
how
at
to type on my
Jackbox. There's a
little
lot of queer
machine
people.
here.
I just
I'm gonna pair
like
you up
that
with a
about
text
us,
conversation,
and sometimes you don't
then
know.
You're gonna get
So it's
me
not
out of it.
it's
Be spicy, be
how would you,
wild, just do
publicize that?
everything
So I
you
think
can
that's
to
my
make
fun
sure
fact.
these
Is that
folks
like I'm kind of
never,
proud.
ever talk
I'm
to
proud.
me
I'm proud of
again,
the people.
ever.
It's not a trend
Yeah.
I'll
thing.
have you
We're just
jump into
trying
a
to be
text box to
sellable,
start
right? You're
typing,
like, this
but
is
guess
this is
what?
what we are. We
Groups
want to
of
make
you
sure
will be
everyone
working on
the
feels
exact
welcome
same
from the
text
get-go
at
because
the
we're the
same
ones that are
time.
making
Why?
it, right? You know.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I love it.
Backspace is
I like
broken.
it.
Also,
Talking
deleting
about
is
the
broken.
moderation
Also,
features of the
everything you
Jackbox
type
Party
will
Pack
stay
10,
the same
we have a
forever.
pretty standard
But other than that, it
content
works
filter
great.
on any
When you're
submitted
finished, your pals will
user-generated
vote on the
content that
words
sort
they
of like
then we'll swap.
sort of tries
Try
to
to
slough
get a
out
big reaction.
automatically
The loudest,
some certain
weirdest,
speech,
wildest player
but
wins.
also moderators
Got all
can
that? Then let's
individually
get
choose
fixy.
words to remove from
What
prompts or
conversations are we getting
remove
into
prompts
today?
entirely.
What kind of shit do you
There's a
wanna
lot
chat?
of there's password protection. There's a Twitch plugin, so we do a lot of try to offer, especially in these newer packs, a lot of features. I talked all over the tutorial. I'm
No,
so sorry.
We're good. I don't think.
Figure it out. Jump in
Oh,
the
no,
deep
no.
end.
Let's get into
Okay,
it.
so you're
Who
writing a
will we be
text
chatting
together,
with today?
you're responding to people that you don't want to continue conversation with, and you can't backspace or delete.
Oh,
Which
gosh.
is
So you gotta
hard.
type
Response.
well from the
I'll start
beginning.
you off with this.
Yes.
Oh.
What channel is
Great.
that?
Take
Stinking
a
Dina
moment to
Donkey
place your
TV show.
cursor,
Quick,
then
she's screaming.
full speed ahead.
Five, screaming.
What?
4,
Is it a baby that's screaming?
3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay.
So you can start writing as much as you want, and everything we see on your controller is what we see on the game screen. So it looks like we got
All out of
applesauce.
jokes? Try a free
Applesauce.
suggestion on your
Apples are
device.
delicious. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. I agree.
Oh no. Oh no.
I know.
I'll pause. Whoever else needs to go in.
Oh, this is where the older sisters do really well.
You can move your
Because
cursor around a lot if you want to move to a different spot in the sentence.
And this is when people are usually like screaming at each other, like, "Okay, you type next, go!"
Real quickly. This is so fluid.
What? Who's this?
Do you
Is it a
see how
baby
like
that's
it
screaming?
helps when you play
Apples are
with
delicious
your
and
group of
connect,
friends?
so feel free
Yeah.
to go on cool quickly.
So you can move around a lot. You're allowed to.
Wow, as much as
We
I
encourage
loved
a lot of
all
chaos,
that,
and as
there
a
are
we
clearly
want to
some
remind the
standouts.
players that
I want
you
the
are
other
not.
group to look at your device
You are
now
playing
and
against
tap
each
to
other,
select
not
your words
together.
As your favorites.
Like you want to get in other people's way.
Got it. I'm gonna ruin this for everyone moving forward.
You said that so confidently. I'm scared.
Select up to 7 words.
Very good
The
at being an
rest,
obstacle.
Select in your heart.
I just want these sentences when I walk into a room.
Yes. This is how we should all start meetings from here on out.
I'm gonna ruin this for everyone.
Honestly, sometimes this
Bro.
does feel like some meetings I've been in where people are just trying to interject wherever.
Now, let's see your favorite words.
Yes, true.
Right?
Conversation flow, especially
That
on like
word was
Zoom
a
and
group
Discord
effort.
and stuff. It's like you, what,
Mhm.
you said.
Real friends
those are
write
my
all the
words.
same words.
Such feel quickly.
See, you're doing well because you jumped in.
Extra points for
Ah,
co-authoring.
Uh,
dang. Okay, that's how
a
that
big
works.
one of the biggest design challenges
Let's see
for
if the
this game
message got
was
across.
figuring out how Google Docs work, and then figuring out how we can build Google Docs
Group
again.
two, you're up.
It
Let's
is.
start
This is
with.
exactly like Google Docs. Oh my gosh.
Screaming.
I'll give you
Okay,
a few
I'm in
seconds
this.
during the countdown to place your cursor.
Anyway,
I also like.
don't-
I like
Got
that
it.
there's also a. You gotta figure it out by playing it.
4,
Yeah.
And I like that. I like those
3,
types of games. Like you just like,
2,
oh wait, next time let's try this,
1.
or you're just kind of evolving the strategy as you play.
Yes. Yes. And even with some board games, I'll admit I'm the kind of person who's like, let's just dive into it. We'll learn as we go along.
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
Which is not
Need
great
a
for
hint?
big games.
Try
like
one of the suggestions
Strategio
on your
or-
device.
Yeah, you know what? But that attitude is what makes you good at Strategio.
They'll never see my next move. There's
They're like, has she played this before? We can't tell.
it's the chaos thing. It works. It works until it doesn't.
Me going into my first D&D night, never having played it, and not telling anyone I had never played it.
Honestly, it's again still the easiest way is just to get in. As long as you don't have people who are picky on the rules.
Yeah, it was a nice group.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them are though.
Yeah.
Good work.
Liz rules bye
This
bye.
is a lot of good work here.
Posture Mama Mia.
How-
It
who
seems
did
like You
this?
have a puzzle on your hands. Going to assume.
Why
it's
is this
all
so
probably
good?
only no help what I know this
Posthumous.
Anyway,
Feel. Oh,
identify
they're
them.
listening. Okay.
Hummus.
It's
What a
time to get
wonderful
serious. That
mess.
was
Time
Come
for
on.
the
That
rest
was
of you to
excellently
pick your favorite
executed.
words.
I love these
Start
words.
now.
Wow.
Rules, baby.
Also, who correctly spelled posthumous?
That's not how you spell posture.
Love a word a lot. Double tap to boost
That was my joke.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm
like
sorry.
posture mama. Posture mama.
I
Dr.
thought
posture mama.
90% of me knew that it was a joke, but I was just like,
Let's see who we've
Go
I would be
Wins.
remiss if I.
Yes. Yes. You're just- I must correct.
I gotta tell you. Posture mama.
Liz, when they hired you at Jackbox, did they ask you which video games
to the
you
inventors of the
yourself
written
played?
word.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Good one. We're
yes,
swapping
and
roles.
Time
I-
to
answer.
check that scoreboard.
I said, I'm gonna buy a Switch. Which one should I get? And then they talked.
You turned it. You
Is your
turned
like
it. That
number?
was
I
smart. If you
bet
don't
you'll
have an
love
answer, you get them to
Let's
answer.
get back to texting.
That's genius.
So do you now
is
play
amazing.
games?
I got the
Group
Switch.
chat. Look who's talking too.
I only just wrapped Tears of the Kingdom last weekend, and because I stretched that out, I did every single hundreds and hundreds of hours of that game.
Fix
Just
it,
chucked
please.
it in. But that's one of the fun parts. Like you can just, you're like, we can keep playing this.
Mm-hmm.
Time starts now.
Yeah,
Get
y'all ever
mixy.
played Crystal Quest back in the day?
Crystal Quest.
Oh, it's one of those original computers, just a bloop bloop bloop. Oh, okay, I'm gonna focus. Never mind.
Focus.
Story,
You got it
TBD,
right. At least you
TBD,
got it right.
TBD. We got this. Okay.
Okay.
I
No way. I wonder. Unconfirmed. Don't confirm.
More
Need
madness.
help.
Keep
I'm
at
dying.
it.
I have antler itchy butthole. Great. This is game as intended. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
All right. I am dying. It itches. It's big and theater. Okay. 25 years from now. This is a lot of really great work is going into this game right now. Okay, where's my dolly? Fantastic. All right.
Oh, that was
Perfect.
so good. That was
Excellent.
a solid round.
Excellent
That
work.
was very
Good work.
leveled up here.
Sorry, Sinister. No way.
Liz,
I
will you keep
wonder.
reading them out
I
loud?
must know 25 years from now.
I'm zooming in, so
Don't do
it's
it,
already
don't do
like
it,
I'm
don't
not
confirm. I
100%
need help
sure
I need to
what I'm reading is right.
Of that of have and itchy butthole. Where's my dolly?
Where's my
Uh,
dolly?
Dolly.
Unconfirmed. Don't
You know
Google it.
what's
Just
up.
don't
Time
do
to
it.
pick
Don't.
those good
don't
slash
confirm.
bad
Don't
words.
confirm. I like that butthold is now a verb.
Hold.
Butthold
Butthold.
and the two things we're taking away is being butthole and postumama.
Pick
Yes,
faster.
costume
I only
mama.
have most of all
That's
of
actually
the
very
day.
fun to say.
It's great, right?
Yes, yes. Elise, how about you? What games were you playing before Jackbox?
Harvest Moon.
Hmm?
You know, I was in the group growing up that did what we called imaginary games. So we would
Take a
play
peek
like
at what made the cut.
orphans and take it very seriously, and we would all like have to come up with names for each
Group
other.
effort
Do you know what I'm
there.
saying? Did you have
This is
groups who would do this?
Roleplay.
Yeah, it's like it's like
Pretend I was an orphan, but yes.
Collab points.
you know, that was the one we landed on for a lot of reasons, and there's probably a lot to unpack there. But
Some nice co-writing here.
so I said Harvest Moon and Crystal Quest
A new
when
text.
Jackbox asked me, and they were like, "So you don't game then?"
Gaming comes in all different forms. Thank
Who
you.
said that to you?
This is all I've got.
And I said, "What? You don't play orphans?"
Just like, no,
Oh,
Missing
man.
out. You're missing
I'm
out.
imagining
Texters, your
Andy
time
saying
starts
to himself,
now.
"No, I don't play Orphan."
The Boxcar Children. Anyone read those?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. See, that's like
Okay.
what we did, and we would be like, "Then let's find a place in the woods, and we had to build our house here." We were just early preppers. We were
Yes.
just survivalists
Yes.
at ages 8, 9, 10, and 11.
No, of course. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
All out of
Survivalist
jokes.
from
Try
the
a free
beginning.
suggestion on your
Yeah.
device.
That's one way to handle things.
Oh,
I feel
I'm
like
scared of
that's a
this.
new team icebreakers. You're all gonna play orphans.
yeah. And it's kind of fun because you're like, I think maybe when you're a kid, you're like, wait, who's in charge here? And then if you're a kid who wants to be in charge, then it's like, oh,
Yes.
there are no parents. And so in our world, that was a way of us being like,
Mm.
create our own reality, live
Okay.
in the woods. I
Y'all
guess.
never
I
went
don't
Lord
know.
of the
either.
Flies, right?
No, but there were fights.
Okay.
There were fights.
Elise.
Very intense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear this
Yeah.
gorgeous.
What? Good
Form.
what? Okay, Dr. Liz back again.
Oh,
Super
Dr.
Cloud
Liz.
has
I
a
love that
lot
now
of
it's
great
just
ideas.
about
Anything
Dr.
say
Liz.
unconfirmed.
Yeah, it's just
Stay away.
fanfic.
Dr. Sinister.
Put
Douglas
yourself
back
in
again
the
with
story.
What a
Unconfirmed.
world
Stay
of
away,
Warcraft.
Dr.
Now
Sinister.
take all of
That's
that
actually a
and
really
pick
good
your
way to have
faves.
fun and personalize this is to start putting in the names of the other people in the game.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We might see it in the last round, but
Make a
the
decision.
last round
The stakes
pulls
are medium
callbacks. So sometimes it'll pull player names, and sometimes it'll pull popular words and plug them into texts as a little treat.
You earned this.
You got it.
You got it. This is for you.
But Liz, you do seem
Point
like a
time.
doctor already too.
Thank
So
you.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
doesn't she
you.
have the doctor essence?
Dang.
Author or doctor?
Look at those scores rocking in.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
If I had thumbs, they'd be cramping.
Catch
Stay
me
hydrated.
on broke back.
Let's check
This
those
is me
scores.
as Innes recording an Instagram video.
This is perfect. This is perfect.
I don't mean to be.
They say
quite
the
so
definition of
dominant,
insanity
but
is doing the same thing and
I always
expecting
lost
different
this game
results.
when we play
Anyway,
tested it, so
let's
I'm
get
feeling
chatting.
good now.
You are like triple everyone else's score right now. In the
I do
chat.
have-
Nail in this coffin. Who is our next
Where is
Only-
she?
I did give myself a leg up by talking over the tutorial.
No. We don't need tutorials. That's
Also, can I say I love the scores showing as like height?
I'm tired.
Because for me,
You do
I don't,
it.
numbers mean nothing. So like the visual, I think that was well done.
yes.
That was cool.
Our artist Bruno
think,
is
just
just like
text.
generally
Go.
a genius for lots of different reasons, but this has a wonderful graphic design mind and UI mind. So a lot of this design of putting the captions to the left instead of at the bottom so nothing's covered, and making sure there's backgrounds that can be turned on and off for color blindness and motion sensitivity is just really incredible. So like all of our avatars are technically 3D models that he's just mattified.
Oh,
Honestly, very brilliant. I can see like all the designs, like just the adjustments, and the color layout too it's actually very comfortable to look at.
I think like by having this limited number of colors, like there's still some that are pretty close, but I think we did the job of making sure that it is different enough for a colorblind
Yeah,
view.
getting that contrast.
Is this Caustic the big weirdo? It
I'm really proud of
totally
this
radically
one.
sounds like it's
I think
nothing
I really
Fred's
took-
not an
took
owl,
control
kitten, boop, get
of
a
the
small
narrative.
written and Reese it bedtime
Uh,
please and give it milk
no,
and watch it
alright,
freeze
that's-
shelfie knife talk and tweedle
Someone said
speedy and
poop, and
tweedle
it was like,
Dumbo,
it's
flower.
kitten poop now.
More.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Tweedle Speedy and Tweedle Dumbo, the
What
cauliflower.
magnificent
Sorry, the
effort.
cow
Now,
flower.
what you're voting on.
Delicious.
Shouts out to
Yes.
who we're playing with. Y'all are cracking me up and very fun and very clever.
One of them's
And-
being a butthead because on our stream sometimes
Pick.
there's a
Time is winding
recurring
down, and
talk
death
of
is
poop
coming for
knives.
us all.
I'm not sure if you've read that.
Oh,
Reddit
Oh,
thread.
I've heard the poop knife. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Can you explain for those of us who haven't?
There's a popular Reddit story of a kid who grew up with poop knives, and he didn't realize nobody else really in the world did. Basically, it was a knife that hung on the wall that when you had
And
very
now,
large
the
poops,
points.
it was the family poop knife that you would use that to break up,
Cut 'em out?
We're on that
cut them
Like
down
just like kind of
into
like because it wouldn't come all the way out.
Yeah, because they would be they would be lost.
Oh, in the toilet itself.
Yeah, in the toilet.
Okay.
In the toilet, then you
That
take
was
the
a
knife and you
group
break
effort.
it down. I'll send you the full story because it's quite hilarious. I don't know if it's real, but that is the
Let's see
lore
what
of
they
the
thought
poop
about
knife.
that
And so,
text.
you know, you go to people's houses and you ask if they have a
Well.
poop knife.
All right. So what about the poop spoon?
Oh, that sounds way worse.
Here's the
That's
door.
for
Now make it
extraction.
That sounds
extraordinary.
way worse. Spoons are for eating, okay? You spoon that on.
Get set, fix.
This is a violation.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I
Okay.
need to go brush
Dr.
my teeth
Liz.
now.
Yeah, mine did feel immediately a little bit like
Yeah.
chalky.
Wait. Wait, which part are we talking about? What's chalky?
Teeth.
Okay, I forgot for a second. I thought we were talking about poop, and I was very.
Keep typing.
I
my
lost the
little
order of the
Shakespeares.
conversation, and I was like, I am so concerned right now for you. I care, which is why I ask, or else I wouldn't be like,
I love it.
chalky poop.
No, I do. I really do love that. I love that. I love asking, clarifying questions.
Yes.
Something that we've learned in our communication strategies.
Let me just make sure I'm hearing this right. Please let me know.
Oh, you nailed it. That was the
Yes.
best way to say. Yeah, that was exactly it. Yep.
Someone's going
Let me
crazy
just
on
make
the
sure I'm hearing what you're
wells.
saying.
Yeah. Well.
It's actually well.
I realized my.
Pasta is the
I
pasta
think my
pasta
compatriot
is
might have
Simon
actually
Allen
dropped out of the
enthusiastic
game,
Dr.
so
Liz.
this is
This is a prank.
just a
Is it
girl.
just
Is drunk on power.
This mess is all you. Okay, got it.
I have
well.
plenty of feelings about this.
That is how I'm gonna
Time
respond.
to make your final selection.
Yeah, if you
Well,
all watch
well.
Letterkenny,
I love
No.
well, there's a phrase like when they say "to be fair," you go "to be fair."
To be fair.
Yeah, so whenever anybody says "to be fair,"
If you
everybody else has to
really like
respond
a
with "to be
word,
fair."
boost it with a double
And now when I
tap.
hear
To be
well, I'm gonna go well.
Oh, I love. Oh wait, I gotta do
Yes.
this. Wow.
Physicist. I mean, I'm gonna give good scores. It's actually very hilarious.
Moment of
to me.
truth.
So wow.
I liked it.
It's
Yeah.
all
Well.
It's all going to one place.
Yeah, all that. You're gonna be drunk on power here.
wow.
17,000. That's more than what I got last time. From like I think both
You've
scores.
tapped, you've even tubed. But who has the
She
wildest
made the
fingers in
game.
wilderness?
Her scores don't count.
Sometimes
She has the
design
cheat
flaws
codes.
reveal themselves. So if one person is playing against a team,
Oh my
only
god.
one person will get put.
Congrats.
Look at
I'll be
Dr.
sending you my
Liz.
phone bill.
And that's the game, folks.
Wow.
What a
Wow.
treat.
Honestly,
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
as you take your champion moment at the top here, this is the perfect way. You on the leaderboard as we wrap up. Any final words to our audience, Liz, and then Elise will wrap up with you.
Thank you so much. This was so delightful, and what a treat. Jackbox Party Pack, I would be remiss if I didn't do the marketing talking points. The Jackbox Party Pack is now available on all platforms. Please get it, enjoy it with your friends and family this holiday season, and follow us on our socials. You can find me on Twitter. It's this at Liz Anderson ____. Although who knows if that's going to be a platform anytime soon. And what a treat! Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
All I have to say is dance to my music at me. Soupy Sounds on Instagram. I'll catch you up on Brokeback.
I would like to hear that audio somewhere in the next Jackbox. Thank you. The two of you
Up on Brokeback.
are an absolute dream to have on this show. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for sharing all your wonderful insights about the game, and thank you for playing and totally kicking our asses in this. The fact that we're all down here and like the 1700 is the highest, and you're 48,000 breaking the sky limit. It shows that you two are such boss bitches.
Boss bitches.
That's right.
Boss
Right.
bitches.
No, but seriously, you all are amazing. And for our wonderful friends at home, or if you're watching later on in the VOD or on the podcast, make sure that you give them a follow, that you're checking out Jackbox 10. It's the perfect holiday party, whether you're with friends or family or the people that you don't want to spend time with. Make sure that they play this with you, and you're going to have a great time no matter where you're at. That's the goal.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, friends, we'll see you all later on in the next Monday. Don't let me cut you off. Any final words? Sorry, I felt like I chopped somebody off.
No, you're just really great at interviewing, that's all.
Thank you so much. It's been a treat.
It's been a treat.
This was fun.
That's right. So no tricks here. Just trick or treats. Bye, friends.
Bye.